everybody. It's a very special edition of 55 and 5. It's episode 102. Why is it special? Because it's one more than 101. I'm Ian Riccaboni. We're joined by Cary Silkin, AJ from Bisson Creative and Web Design. He's behind the camera. I'm still recovering from poison ivy because we're taping 101 through 105 all at the same time. Hey, Cary, we have a special one for you. It's 102. Emphasis on 2 because we got a tag team here today.
Okay.
You may have heard of these guys.
We did the Duseks.
We did Duseks individually.
And we did the Sharp Brothers.
We did the Sharps. We did the Mills. We did the Scotts.
Okay.
What about, and I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes.
It's not the Gabors, is it?
Asia and Jasha? Ava and Jasha? No. Cary, what can you tell us about the Kalmikoff brothers?
I think there was more than 2.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Ian's got poison ivy. I have no voice.
The walking wounded here today.
Right. Kalmikoff brothers, seen their name. I think they wrestled everywhere.
They did, yeah.
And once again, I'm going to guess there might have been even 4 of them.
There was.
All right.
Correct. All right. Yeah, good stuff.
So,
yeah, these are the original 2.
Fill in the blanks, please.
The original 2, Ivan and Carol Kalmikoff.
But those couldn't have been their names.
No, they had very, I believe they were Polish, I believe. Now, they were not actual brothers. None of the eventual 4 brothers were brothers.
I was going to quickly say, I guess they weren't being portrayed as Russian because they look too friendly.
Right. Well, that's interesting because they were such a top tag team in Toronto, they faced the good guys and the bad guys.
Okay.
So they would face the Sharp brothers. They'd face the Mills, Murder Inc. They'd face Jack Claiborne and Luther Lindsay, the great African-American team in Toronto. They faced the Riot Squad, the Duseks, who were villains. So they were kind of in between. They were appreciated for their violence and skullduggery, I guess you could say. But they were normally villains, but they could, depending on who they were facing. So Carol, he debuted in 1940. Okay. He was the first. He started out actually as under a different name, and he was named Carol Krauser. So
interesting because Karl Gotch started as
Karl Krauser.
Yes,
interesting. That is, huh. And he wrestled all over the place. You're right, especially in those days when it was tough to do that. He really kind of started in St. Louis, went to Los Angeles in 43. He challenged for the world title basically at every turn. He was a good, reliable opponent. And comes to Maple Leaf in 54 and becomes Carol Kalmikoff in Toronto. And they teams with his brother, Ivan, and they defeat Claiborne and Lindsay to become the tag champs almost out of the gate.
I want to know about these bonus brothers.
The bonus, I don't have much on them.
The Bernie brothers.
The Bernie brothers. Yeah, if you want to hear more about the Bernie brothers, please go to Last Stop Penn Station. Stan and Nikita were the bonus brothers. They were fictional. They kind of replaced over time. It was kind of like the Duseks, how they end up with a fake Dusek, or the Von Erichs, with additional fake Von Erichs like Lance and so on. But they were a top team. They became a top team everywhere they went. The Sharps, Murder Inc., Claiborne and Lindsay, the Riot Squad. They had a big hand in getting Anthony Rocca over in Toronto as well. They faced him and Whipper Billy Watson quite a bit, and that really helped elevate Anthony Rocca. So that's a fun thing they did.
A guy like Greg Oliver would be turning, he's on his grave. He'd be rolling his eyes, saying, we didn't know that. Because obviously this is a major tag team of that era. And, top of the card.
Well, I'd have to ask Greg Oliver because Toronto seems like the one place tag team. You always hear about Jim Crockett, but Toronto seems like the one place where if you were a tag team, you could be in the main event. And from the 40s and 50s and 60s, that seemed like the place you could go. So we'll have to ask Greg about the Kalmikoffs and all that, because if you look at the results, those are the headline bouts often.
So when did their careers last until?
Yeah, Carol was 1940 to 64. Ivan actually had a longer career. He got a later start, but had a longer career. He was also known as the Wild Man of Borneo. That was one of his nicknames.
Okay.
And he used the Hangman's Noose, kind of the move that Road Warrior Hawk used. And he wrestled from 42 to 79.
Wow.
Almost 40 years. And he mostly became notable in the Northeast, as well as Toronto, Montreal, Cleveland, and Detroit. Became huge in Detroit. And he was kind of involved in that early hardcore style that Detroit had going with Sheik and Abdullah and all those guys. Interesting to note, they actually faced each other a few times as Krauser and Kalmikoff in 1949 before they started teaming. And then Carroll, a fun note, was also a model for 1949 Superman comics. So he was in good enough physique to be the model for Superman. And interesting to note, he also was married to one of the early female wrestlers that had a national name.
June Byers.
No, Zoska Burska.
Okay.
Who I've not heard before. But she assumed her name from Jack Pfeffer. Jack Pfeffer had a hand in marketing her.
He had a hand in a lot of things.
Sure did. It seemed like he had a lot of stuff going on at all times.
Well, 102 was good.
Yeah, the Kalmikoff brothers. Fun team. Interesting card. I always like to see the tag teams.
What a nice background they gave them.
Yeah.
In comparison to Wee Willie Davis.
Yeah, we did Wee Willie Davis yesterday. You can barely see his face. The Kalmikoffs, you can see a nice, strong guys with a nice background. And that's the crapshoot that is the 55 set.
Well, I hope 104 is going to be...
We got to do 103 first.
Oh, geez.
104 will be good, too.
Let's go to 103, please.
All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us. For 103, join us tomorrow. 8 p.m. is the premiere time if you're watching this in real time. I want to thank AJ from Bisson Creative and Web Design, Conrad Thompson for having us on ad-free shows. I want to thank Cary for being here, going through this fun exercise of these 121 cards. We have Captain Lou, Uncle Gunny. We want to thank you for joining us on 55 and 5. See you tomorrow, everybody.